Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day today. So for today's video, I'm going to be recreating the makeup that I did for my birthday. So I went out for my birthday recently and I don't care what anyone says, my makeup slapped. It was so just, everything just came together really, really nicely. So I'm going to recreate it for you guys today. Nobody asked for this, but this is what you are getting. But yeah, if you enjoy videos like this, do me a favour and leave a like, 'cause it really, really does help me out. Leave a comment as well. If you don't know what to comment, just leave a little emoji, leave a heart. In fact, no, leave a birthday cake in the comments. And if you want to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe, because I post videos all the time. And yeah, you don't want to miss it. And with all that being said, let's get straight on into it. So I just went ahead, I primed my skin. So to prime my skin, I used the Prep and Perfect Vitamin Enriched Moisturizing Primer. This is supposed to be the Bobbi Brown dupe from Primark. I've been loving this stuff lately, so I used that. And then I also obviously did my eyebrows. I just used the NYX Lift and Snatch pen and my ABH Brow Freeze. When I have my eyebrows laminated, I really don't do a lot to them. I just whack some of this through my brows, and then with whatever gaps I can see, I just run this through. Okay, so I've zoomed you guys in because we're going to do eyes. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I use 3 different palettes in this eye look, but honestly, you could probably just do it with one. I was just being a bit extra. So the first palette I used was this one, the Beauty Bay Fiery Matte palette. I don't think they do this palette anymore, which is actually sickening, because this palette is such a good one. As you can see, I've used it to death. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take this shade here just to set my brow bone and down to my crease. I love this shade because it's like a bone colour, and it just works, you know? So I just primed my eyelids with concealer like I normally do. And I don't set the entire lid, like I said. I only want to set like my brow bone and just to the crease, so that it gives the other shades something to blend into. But obviously I still want the pigment from the other eyeshadows to stick, so I don't want to, you know, take this too far down. Okay, swapping palettes now to the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. And I didn't just use this palette because it was my, well, it is my Project Pan palette. I actually used it because I really, really like the shades Sourced and Low Blow when they're mixed together. So that is these two here. I just really like the shade of them together. So yeah, I just take a little bit of both of them, and I quite literally whack that all over the lid, and I just keep packing it on until I'm happy with the pigment. And I'm not really doing very much blending yet. I'm literally just like packing it on. And you can go back into the palette and pick as much shadow up as you want, but obviously once you have got the shadow down, it's harder to take away, so just take your time. Now I'm just going to start to blend this into the crease. And also wing it out on this outer corner. And you can blend and build up as much as you like until you're happy. So I just want it to look something like that, and obviously I can clean up this outer wing when, you know, I'm doing foundation and whatnot, or I can clean it up with a wipe. And now obviously I'm just going to do the same on the other eye. Okay, so now I look something like this. I look a little bit like a badger. So now I'm going to swap back to the Beauty Bay palette, because I want this shade here. Now I do have a shade like this in my Naked Heat palette, but just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna stick to what I use. So this shade is called Cherry Cola. And for starters, I'm gonna take it on this brush. So it's a fluffy, kind of flat top brush almost. The reason I'm taking it on this brush is because I can pack this on exactly where I want it on this outer wing. And then I will literally take a fluffy brush and just blend it out. But this just helps me get the eyeshadow where I actually want it, because I don't want too much of it going in towards the inner corner. I do push some of it through my crease, but only to like the first half. I don't want it going in any further than that. And I will just keep building up until I'm happy. So then once I'm happy, I'm going to take a bit of a smaller, fluffier brush, and I'm just going to help to blend out those edges. Make sure nothing's looking too harsh. And then just keep swapping between brushes to make sure there's a nice blend. So this is currently what the eyes are looking like. Obviously they'll look better once I clean them up, but I just feel like these colours make my eyes pop so much. So now I'm going to take the third palette. Very OTT, but it was my birthday. So the third palette is the Charlotte Tilbury The Beauty First palette. Love this palette, by the way. And I only use one shade, so I took this shade here because it's literally just like a pressed glitter, but you don't need like any glitter glue or anything. And I literally just took this and added a little bit of sparkle to the inner corner of my eye. I'm not sure if my camera would have got that, but I literally just ran out of the room because a wasp flew in here. But yeah, I was just saying I'm taking this shade and I'm just going to press that on the inner corner of my eyes. Now I do have some pretty long nails on at the minute, so it's a little bit of a struggle, but I just want like a light sparkle. You see, just kind of like that. I just do the same on this eye. I love these because they add like a ton of glitter, but they don't add much pigment. It's literally like a glitter topper. And now I'm just gonna get one of the brushes from the previous shades and I'm just gonna flick into the glitter just so that there's not like a harsh edge. Just like so. And I'm just quickly going to clean up the wings and then I'll show you what the eyes are looking like. And here is what the eyes look like. So pretty, and honestly, they just make my eyes pop. Yeah, so now I'm going to do the rest of my face because right now, looking a little bit crazy. So I'm going to do base, which for me is my favourite part of the makeup routine anyway. So I didn't do underpainting. I went in with foundation first, honestly, because I forgot to do underpainting, but I'm going to do it in the exact same way. So the foundation that I used was the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Oh my God, someone's dog is going crazy. I love this foundation and I hadn't used it in so long. I'm going to have to shut my window. Sorry, I just shut my windows. Some dogs are going crazy outside. They're always going crazy. I don't know whose dogs they are, but okay. What I was saying is this foundation never lets me down, and it didn't let me down when I went out either, because we went out in the day. Me and my sisters met up first and we went for like some food and like day drinking. I'm just gonna apply this with this brush first. So yeah, we went for food and like day drinking, and then we met up with my partner and my friend and my sister's partner, and then his friend met us later on as well. So it was a long day, and we definitely got messy toward the end of the night, but I don't go out very often, so if there's any time for it to get messy, let it be your birthday. But this foundation honestly lasted the whole night. I took it off before I went to bed, even though I was absolutely steaming, by the way. I still took it off before I went to bed, and honestly, I mean, I was steaming, so my eyes could have been deceiving me, but it looked absolutely fine. Like, there was like nothing wrong with the makeup. I'm like actually beating my face up with this brush. I don't know why I'm being so aggressive. What the heck? I feel like the colour match for this foundation is pretty good as well. I do feel like it is a tiny bit dark, but I feel like the tone of it is pretty spot on. Maybe a tiny bit too yellow. I feel like I definitely have a little bit more like neutral leaning skin, like especially on like my chest area, but I feel like this shade match is pretty good for me. By the way, I just take like a pump and a half of that, and honestly I've just wiped off the extra half, if I'm being honest with you. But then once I blended it in with a brush, I do go in with my sponge and I just pat over it. I love doing this. I've done this for years. Basically, I do this to pick up any extra foundation that may be left lingering on top of the skin, and also to get rid of any brush marks there might be, and also just because I feel like foundation, or like honestly cream products in general, I can always apply better with a sponge. This just always gives me like a flawless looking base. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with cream bronzer. Now, to be honest with you guys, this is not the cream bronzer that I used on my birthday, but I'm going to use it today. So the bronzer I'm going to use today is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I have mine in the shade Light Medium. I got this for my birthday. Was too scared to use it to go out, so I used it yesterday and absolutely loved it. So I would just like to try it out again today. The bronzer I did use was the Primark one, the like foundation stick thing, but I don't really like the tone of that on my skin anyway. So I want to see what this will look like. I've only used it once before, so I am still kind of just testing it out, but I love the shade of it. It just looks so effortless. I've loved this every single time I've used it. I say every single time. This is the second time using it. That was a bit extreme, but the first time I used it, I loved it, and I'm already loving it right now. It just looks so like blended in, and I've not even really done anything. The tone of it and everything is great as well. Like, it's warm because it's a bronzer, but at the same time it's got that little bit of a cooler tone to it as well. Honestly, look how pretty that bronzer is. I love it. I can't wait to keep trying it out. I need to see how it lasts like longevity wise, so I'm going to test that out today actually, but so far I've been loving it. And then for blush, I went for a good old trusty faithful. So this is the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Stick in the shade Work, and I just take it straight from the stick straight onto my brush, and then I apply it like that. I just feel like it always applies the best like that. I've been taking my blush like a little bit further in as well, and also going over my nose as well. And I've really been liking how that's been looking lately. Super cute. And then I'm just going to go in with concealer, and concealer will make this look a little bit less harsh as well. So the concealer that I used, honestly, it was always going to be this one, is the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. This is like the only concealer I trust under my eyes nowadays. It just works under my eyes, whereas a lot of other concealers don't nowadays. So the way I do my concealer is a little bit different now too. I put it down in like this placement, so inner corner and outer corner, and then I do just clean up the wing if I've got a wing going on. And then I go in with a concealer brush, and I always start from the outer corner first, and I like bounce over where I've directly applied the concealer. And then I do the same on the inner corner, and obviously pull the cutest faces ever. And then once I've done that with whatever is left over on the brush, I just take that in the center of my eye. And then once that's all blended out, I do just go in with my sponge and like blend over it, get rid of any excess concealer and brush marks. And then just before I set under my eyes, I go back in with my blusher brush. I don't take any extra product, but I just kind of pat over where the concealer took most of that like blush away. And then it doesn't like completely get rid of the blush. And then to set my face, I used the Laura Mercier setting powder, because honestly, this is probably the best setting powder ever. So I just get some of it out in the cap, and then I take my Trigger Roll puff. Yes, mine is dirty. I haven't had a chance to wash my makeup brushes yet. And I get some on the puff, but then I take the puff in the palm of my hand and I just bounce the powder into my hand, and then there's less on the puff, and I just feel like it doesn't like get that like cakey look under the eyes. So I'm just going to blend out any creases, and then I'm going to take the puff straight in under my eye. Sorry about this angle, guys. I know it's not the best. And then once I've got majority of the powder down, I then start to just like push and roll in the powder. Just make sure that's all set in place. Honestly, the facial expressions I pull when doing concealer and powdering under my eyes, they're not pretty, guys. I see YouTubers like that I love to watch set their under eyes, and they do not look like me. I don't know how they do it, but I have to pull the craziest faces to set my under eyes. I think I might have took a little bit too much powder under this eye. It's looking a little bit cakier under this eye. But yeah, that's how I set my under eyes. And then I don't set the rest of my face. Sorry, I swear there's like a bristle on my nose or something. I don't set the rest of my face. I go in with my powder product first. So where is my bronzer, please? Hello? Oh my god, it's literally right in front of my face. So I'm going to use this bronzer today. So this is the Doll Beauty Gimme Some bronzer. I don't think you can get this anymore. Sorry, but why? I feel like everyone and their mum used to have this bronzer. Anyway, I'm going to use this one today. The one I did use was the Essence one. But I'm just not really in the mood to use that one today. And honestly, I feel like I prefer this one, which kind of sucks because you can't get it anymore. So I just use powder bronzer to set the areas where I cream bronzed. I do this instead of using like a face powder because I feel like it gives my skin like a less powdery look, because I'm not going in with a setting powder and then a powder bronzer and then a powder blush and then a powder highlight. I'm doing them in like separate areas, if that makes sense, so it's not like a bunch of powder products all on top of each other, you know. I'm hoping that that makes sense. And then the blush that I used to go out with was the XX Revolution blush in the shade Entice. I haven't used this in a hot minute, and I don't really feel like anyone talks about that XX Revolution range. To be honest, I don't think people talk about Revolution that much anymore. But I love the shade of this blush, especially with this makeup look. It all just went so nicely together. Like, that is just so pretty. And I also do highlighter before I set my face now as well, because then I can go over it with a little bit of powder and it looks like you're glowing from within rather than like just highlighter being on your face. So the highlighter that I used was the Nabla Skin Glazing in the shade Ozone. This has got like a pinky champagne-y tone to it, which just looked really nice with this look. I actually love this highlighter, by the way. I do just tend to really try and buff highlighters into my skin nowadays rather than just doing like a swipe like this and then being done. I really like to work the product in. I just feel like it looks better. That just looks stunning. I keep going to use this as a mirror. The skin is looking insane right now. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly set the rest of my face and then I'll be back to do the last finishing touches. So this is currently what the skin is looking like. Honestly, I'm obsessed. So the setting spray that I went in with, because I forgot to film it, was the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy setting spray. I didn't use this to go out with. I used just the normal e.l.f. Stay All Day setting spray or Stay All Night setting spray. But I'm just currently using this one up because I want to see how, you know, it lasts on my skin, because it is a dewy setting spray. But so far, I am loving the way my skin is looking. This is exactly how I felt when I was getting ready. So now I just need to do a little bit of under eye eyeshadow. So I'm going to go in with the same shades that I used on my eyelid, obviously on the lower lash line. So I'm going to go in with the darker brown first, the Coca-Cola shade or the Cherry Cola shade. And I always suck at doing this and letting you guys be able to see. And then just go in with Sourced and Low Blow mixed together on the inner corner. And then also just taking this and just slightly going underneath the Cherry Cola shade. And then I'm just going to take Ounce, which is this shade here, as my inner corner and brow bone highlight shade. And then that is the eyes done. So now I'm just going to go and do some mascara. So the mascara that I used was the e.l.f. Lash Beats mascara. And I had my eyelashes, what's the word? Laminated? Is that the word? I think so. So I don't need to curl them or anything. I'm just gonna whack some mascara on. I didn't use any falsies when I went out because honestly, falsies always end up winding me up towards the end of the night and I just couldn't be bothered. So I just did mascara. Honestly, I don't think I'm very much of a lash girly anymore. I love this mascara though. It does so much for my lashes. So then that is the eyes completely done. Honestly, I'm obsessed with this makeup look. I think this is like my makeup look. Now that I've done it, I think it's just my go-to, you know? So now I'm just gonna go in with a lip. I used the NYX, where is it? I used this lip gloss when I went out. This is the NYX Lip Drip Fat Oil. I loved this when I went out, but I don't really want like a full kind of colour gloss today. So I'm gonna go in with my PS lip liner in Foxy Nude. And then I'm just going to take my Fenty lip gloss in Diamond Milk. This is just in my project pan. Yeah, I really, really like that. Honestly, I like that more than the NYX one that I wore when I went out. So now I'm just very quickly gonna sort out my hair and then I'll be back. Okay, so here is the finished look. Let me know what you guys think. I absolutely love this makeup look. I felt so pretty on my birthday, especially with like my outfit on and my hair all curled and whatnot. I was gonna curl my hair, but I've literally just washed it yesterday, so I don't really fancy putting a ton of product in it. But yeah, not the point. But this is the finished look anyway. Like I said, let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, do leave a like, because it really does help me out, and it also lets me know that you guys, you know, want to see more videos like this one. And also do me a favor and leave a comment as well, because that really, really does help with the algorithm. So if you want to do me a favor, just leave a birthday cake emoji in the comments. And if you do want to see a little bit more of me, I would love to have you here. Please do consider subscribing, because I post all the time, and yeah, I would love to have you guys. But with all that being said, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.